When is the last time a man has approached you? And if you're a man, when's the last time you've approached a woman? And I'm not talking about the club drunk being like, what's your name? Where you from? I'm talking about in public, just being like, hey, I thought you were beautiful, can I have your number? And the truth is, cold approaching is not really a thing anymore. If you look at studies, it actually shows that men are approaching women in public so much less now. And in my opinion, as a man who also doesn't approach women, I think it stems from social media and how social media creates insecurity. You'll see all these videos of women being like, I hate when an ugly man approaches me, it's so offensive. If you can't afford me, don't go up to me. That creates an actual insecurity in men's head. And on the inverse, you have these red pill male influencers who are telling guys that if they're not the most attractive person possible, they're never going to make it. They're never going to get that woman. They're never going to get that bread. And when you keep interacting with that content, it suggests you that same content. So you live in an echo chamber of insecurity, and then that translates to the real world. Do you actually think a man's going to go up to a woman, risk rejection, when all he's fed online is that rejection will happen no matter what? Oftentimes, rejection is the scariest thing ever. You know, some people might say, oh, well, you never know. You might as well try. People don't even like trying. It's like applying to jobs. Some people apply to so many jobs, they keep on getting rejected left and right. They're scared to apply to another one because they cannot face another rejection. And honestly, guys are just on dating apps. They're sliding in DMs because that is a lot less scary than approaching a woman in public.
What else do you have? I'm not saying you don't have, but I'm just saying if you don't have, if you didn't have any of that, what else would you bring to the table?
Wait,
money,
so
status.
Are you asking in general, or you're asking specifically what I bring to the table?
You.
What I bring to the table? You want me to articulate that?
Absolutely.
What I bring to the table, Audi respecter, Audi enjoyer, Audi appreciator. Yeah.
So innies, you're not into innies then?
No, it's not a deal breaker, but they have to make up for it. The woman who doesn't have an Audi, she has to make up for it.
Yes! How does she do that?
I'm the founder of the nonprofit and grassroots movement, Big Labia Matter, or BLM for short, because all labia can't matter until big labia matter. As someone who only dates women with large labia, I'm an ally to women with Audis. It's like a solidarity thing. Women who have Audis, a lot of them are a little self-conscious about it. They think men don't like it. Maybe they've had a boyfriend or a guy make comments. Roast beef, meaty, Arby's, beef curtains, wizard sleeve. That's a value proposition for a woman who has an Audi. Boom, what I bring to the table.
I'm not sure why you're so obsessed
what
with
I
women.
bring.
Who do you think is more empathetic, men or women?
I feel a woman. Women.
What about you?
I think women.
Next question is, does lying to people align with empathy?
No.
What about you?
No.
No. Okay. What about you?
No.
No? And you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So why, when women in general, if y'all out with y'all girls and she looking a little bit too big for that dress, right? In general, most women would lie and say, girl, you look good. So women lie to coddle people's emotions, and y'all would use it and mistake it for empathy. Y'all all agree lying doesn't align with empathy. And a lot of the things that women do, which I say is very empathetic, you're lying.
Women are incapable of being happy?
Why do you say that?
Because women with curly hair buy a straightener. Women with straight hair buy a curler. Women with dark hair dye it blonde. Women with blonde hair dye it dark. Women with big boobs, they get a breast reduction. Women with small boobs, they get implants. I mean, you can't make that species happy. If they're light skinned, they want to get darker. There is no making them happy. They got eyebrows. They shave them off and draw new ones on. There is no making that species happy. When the Almighty created woman, He created a weird animal.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, I'm sure there's more.
Because women literally destroyed the world today, and I'll explain why. Radical feminism destroyed the world and destroy women. Wait, let me finish. And it destroyed relationship.
Yep.
Because women kind of like destroy their own for themselves, destroyed it for themselves. Because you want to be equal to a man. You want men to treat you equally, everything. And you think that everything you do, you are perfect one. What we have, a lot of women have, right? Men have more value when they get older than a woman. Okay? And if women come and treat men like a wallet and everything has to be transactional, okay, men lose interest. And today we are suffering because high quality women, like, okay, you married, but high quality women like me or other girls or other women that I know, right? They suffer because if I look good and I go with a man to dinner, immediately they think that if I look sexy and I have big boobs, immediately I'm going to go to bed, do a line of cocaine. You understand? The good women suffer from what the other women did, because radical feminism literally destroyed the relationships today.
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore. Do y'all feel that way?
100%.
Why do you think that is?
The reason they not obsessed is because, I hate to say it again, and I hate to seem like I'm being judgmental to women when I'm a woman myself, but I feel like social media and there's no mystery. I feel like a lot of things that we as women as a whole that we say that maybe sometimes is just something that we're just putting on social media. It was just a joke. I feel like guys really be turned off by those things. Like they really judging you by the things you put up.
The boy quotes, right? Like
yeah, like I feel like they're really judging you like by those things.
They watch from afar.
And also like just feeling like it's this pressure of feeling like they gotta take care of you. I wouldn't want to be obsessed with nobody if I feel like as soon as I walk to them, they're gonna be like, my light bill is due.
I like the point that she said about the mystery, because a lot of modern women say, if I know everything about him from the first date, then he's boring. But then they turn around and put their body and their business out there for everybody to consume. Where's the exclusivity?
I'ma squeeze y'all hand real tight when I say this.
No, you are not. Don't touch our hand, because we never consented to that. Few discretion is advised.
Single mothers don't give a if you want them or not.
Single-handedly, I've done way too many videos on this very topic for that statement to be true. There is literally a bajillion examples of single mothers complaining about dating. Someone not caring about dating and also complaining about dating can't exist in the same space. They're contradictions to one another. Not to mention how often those very women get online and complain about not getting the thing that they feel like they deserve as single mothers. What is she talking about?
I be seeing videos. I saw a female. First of all, you females, you hoes that listen to men talk so much stupid that it went on in y'all blood cycle. It just circulated in y'all head. And I say this all the time, but for some reason, y'all did the great divide and whatever delusion you want to live in because somebody got a kid or somebody don't. Cool. Not my fantasy to live out.
What the did she just say? A lot of words, but no complete sentences. What message are you trying to promote, ma'am? Because I can assure you, if your target audience has an IQ of anything higher than a pair of work boots, they are going to find it extremely difficult to receive the message you are trying to deliver.
But I keep seeing these videos of these men, oh, nobody wants a single mother, nobody. Y'all talk about it more than we talk about it. I can rest assured you single mothers is not out. I need a man, I hope this man talks to me, I hope this man call me, I hope he texts me, I hope he sends me out. Have you ever tried to take a single mother on a date?
As a matter of fact, I have, and it's rather easy. When they actually like you, trust me, they'll make a way to make time to be with you. Whether that child has to be dropped off to its father, their grandma, a sibling, a friend, they're gonna make it happen in order to be with you. Single moms make time for the things they actually want to make time for, just like any other person walking the face of the earth.
We're too busy mothering. Like, we don't care. Respectfully. Like, there's a lane for mamas.
Sweetheart, if you didn't care, you wouldn't be making this video. If there's a lane for mothers, trust me, y'all don't like that lane. That's why y'all get online and complain. Her concerns on the single mother's dating ecosystem is no different from the male loneliness epidemic that women are pushing. Women have made countless videos on the male loneliness epidemic, no different from men making countless videos on single mothers dating. The only difference between the two is one is actually happening and one isn't. Men make those videos because there's so many single women online complaining about dating. It's everywhere. Unlike this fake epidemic that y'all talking about, y'all the only ones that come online and make videos about it. Men are not talking about being lonely.
Keep listening to these bitter men on the internet. Keep listening to your baby telling you, oh, you got a kid, nobody ain't gonna want you. Hey man, y'all better go outside.
One thing I'm never gonna do is get online and say that no men will want you because you have children. But what I will say, it does change the landscape of your dating ecosystem. And you must respect that things are going to be different when you have children. If you can't respect that, you will end up just like this woman here, complaining about something that you say you don't care about. But to conclude, if you truly don't care about something, trust me, you spend zero time talking about it. And whether you like it or not, your dating options will change once that child is introduced. And the sooner you respect it and accept it, your life will be much more simple. But you know what? I know she ain't gonna...
So a guy used a job analogy to kind of, say, well, men are not approaching women because they listen to all of this red pill stuff, number one. Number two, they think that they don't have a chance because of social media and stuff like that. And I think we're almost there. Yes, you do have some red pill channels or whatever and whatnot that be talking about, oh, well, you can never get a woman, da 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 da, and this and that. I get where you're coming from. I totally understand it, right? Hey, stop telling them they can't this, and this. Once again, I think because of social media and the time that we're in, men need more assistance. And that's okay. Men need more assistance. If you want me to come up to you, let me know. Well, I think there was one woman talking about, man, you know, for a man to approach you nowadays, then they have to have a whole bunch of validation. They don't have to have a whole bunch of validation. They just need you to confirm that you want them to come over there. And as they're walking over there, because there have been women in the past, even when the man is walking to her, sit up there and change her mind and be like, what are you even doing over here? I thought your body language. And it did. Her body language and what she was doing with her eyes did say, I would like him to come over here and speak to me. But for some reason, she decided midway, 75% of the way, that she didn't want to talk to him. And so it causes confusion. You know, we can't just blame it on social media and the red pill. Modern women, they don't know how to communicate verbally or non-verbally. They don't. They be sending mixed signals. I know they probably don't think they are. I know they probably think that they're super clear, but you're not.
Women don't really want a man. They just want to say they're in a relationship. Women don't really want the good treatment, the work that comes, the self-regulation that has to happen from having a person that's completely different from you and that level of evolution. They just want to repeat, which is why most people date the same person with a different name over and over and over again, because they don't want to change. They want to complain. They don't want anything different. They don't want a Stefan or an Urkel. They just want to be like, I was chosen. And as long as that's the dynamic, what's going to change? Nothing.
No, I'm just saying, Sarah, it's just, you say go for the one that loves you, but what about the ones that they love you, but you just will never love them? I'm sorry. I can't.
Why would you? Why? See, and that's the thing too. It's like, are you leading the man on and that's why he loves you, but you would never give him a chance? I say that to say that really and truly, women, there's such a message right now about relationships that's so toxic and so wounded. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you believe women want relationships?
No, I think women want to say they have a man.
Or do they? I mean, I actively know a woman who didn't.
Women always want you when you don't want them.
Why women only want men who do not want them?
Because you just don't care. You don't want her no more. You're not trying.
These are men who are demonstrating internal strength, internal courage. And because of that, these women not only gain respect for these men, but they also become attracted to them.
When a woman plays some foolishness with you, cut you off, move on. And trust me, she will text you.
The scary reality is the less you do, the more successful you'll be with women, especially hot women.
They can't help themselves to just go after a guy who just don't want them anymore. They can't help it.
Women just don't have any respect for guys who supplicate to her, guys who fall under her beautiful woman spell. Women have no respect for these guys.
When you remove your attention, remove your time, remove your energy, now she want to be with you.
They want you when you don't.
Okay, but hear me out. Wouldn't it be crazy if men were meant to submit to women and women were meant to protect and provide, which is why we're so good at it, but the patriarchy's convinced us that we need men to do that so they feel needed and we feel powerless? Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay.
I mean, but what else? What would that entail? What would that look like? I think a lot of times modern women just get on here and they just talk about what would be and the fantasy that they might be living in at the time of their crossing over into the land of delusion. But there are laws and things in place that need to happen in order for your takeover to commence and to be completed. What would those things be? What would it look like? Oh wait, you probably don't have a plan for that, nor a strategy, nor can you enforce it. Interesting.
Men tend to become friends with women to sneak their way into relationships. Okay. So this might be something that women don't want to accept. I think they innately understand it, but they will never admit it because they need multiple men. They need friends because let's say I say, I'm going to take care of you and I don't. What are they going to go to? They need someone else to hop to. Right. So they're going to keep multiple men around for this reason. That gives her a little bit of security and a sense to protect themselves from you not handling your responsibility. So they have male orbiters and men that are friends and these type of things. The men, and he will continue to push. He will continue to text message her. He will be just a friend. And she'll be like, oh, it's just Johnny. You don't have to worry about him. And Johnny is positioning himself to be the fall.
Wouldn't that also explain perhaps men's hesitance to commit to women because women are much more likely to be the ones to initiate the breakup or initiate the divorce?
So men are scared of us?
They're not scared. I don't think it's scared.
No, I mean, they're terrified of you, right? It's not scared, terrified.
Okay.
But not because of you. They're terrified of the situations which happen around women that lead to really terrible outcomes for a lot of men. That's what they're terrified of.
Okay. I could see that.
Men are actually men are super simple, women are very complicated. Men, as long as we feel appreciated, we feel noticed, and we feel special, and we see our role and our purpose, we will go to the ends of the earth to feed our family. We'll figure it out. And I think we're underselling American men. We say, oh, I wait until I'm 27 or 28. That's fine, but look at the cost of that. And the cost is, right now, just as we're clear, we are on pace 10 years out from now, we're going to have 20 million 40-something women that never got married or have kids, but they have big apartments and they go on lots of vacations. And I also think that's one of the reasons we're seeing the suicide rate, the anxiety problems, the depression problems in our country. Do you have a thought? Or
yeah, I just feel like how many people that are or how many males that are 20 are ready to get married and ready to have a family?
So the question is, which one leads which? Men, yes, but in the 1950s or 1960s, the time we're supposed to hate, young ladies looked at it was my task to find a husband before the age of 25. And it was the most important thing for them. Now that came with a lot of costs. Some people would say that it was handcuffs and, being in prison.
That's simple. Plain and simple.
Do women's delusional expectations require men to set delusional goals?
Yeah. And that's because we got delusional men around here that do delusional with these women. That don't make no sense because they emasculated and simped up. And they think that's how that's gonna get the woman. Then when the woman don't cooperate, they want to beat her up. You know how these emasculated men get down, man. Come on.
Should we be blaming simps for women's bad behavior?
I told you this last interview, champ. Yes, they are poison to the planet. If you a simp, you are poison to the planet. You are poison to the woman because what you doing is you creating another Jezebel for a man to have to operate with, because she gonna leave your simp ass because you emasculated. She don't want to be with no woman. She really want to be with a man, but she f***ing with you because you be doing little. But then when she went into another man that's not no simp, that's gonna teach her about accountability and how to be a virtuous woman, he gonna be dealing with a ticking time bomb because some simp ass nigga done spilled the poison through her blood. They like venomous snakes, man. They don't even need to have women. They need to go through a whole structural course, a non-beta male course. And that'll heal a lot of these females. I'm trying to keep it real with you, man. Tricks make the world go round. I only get that money because of simp.
Didn't women...
Okay, I have to say this because it's really pissing me off. I'm tired of you and when I say I mean exactly what the I say. Y'all be having y'all heads so far up your that you don't see what the it is. I just always want to talk about, I can never live with no man who's not contributing to my household. But you are the same that be going to these houses, not contributing. You think you cooking and cleaning and giving them some coochie here and there is contributing? These men be out all day fighting the world, literally, to provide something stable and secure for you. But for me to watch a video about living with a man who don't contribute, don't get with a man who ain't contributing, because next thing you know, you'll blink and it'll be 10 years and now you're stuck in it. How many men do you think deal with that on a daily basis? Y'all really get on my nerves. Women have this victim complex. That shit's annoying. I don't even believe in genders in a race. At this point, it's just a human race. I treat people like humans. And if you're not going to act like a respectable human being, then I'm not going to treat you like one. But y'all getting on my nerves with this
rhetoric that, a man can never move in my place. Well, I can't move in your place because you're already paying the bills there, and I can figure out if I want to contribute or not if I even choose to. But if a man came to live with me, which would never happen, like, I don't with y'all logic. You are literally going on a road to being by yourself. These men are not looking for to take care of. They're not looking for another child. A lot of these men got kids that they already didn't want and got to take care of. Now they got to take care of your stupid ass because you don't want to contribute because you think your coochie holds value. You think that because you're a woman, you're entitled to certain treatment or this princess lifestyle. Girl, you. And it be these bitches in these type of relationships or situations where when the relationship ends, it's, I never needed it for and then go live off the next. It's a repeating cycle, and it don't make no sense to me how y'all decenter men and don't need a for nothing, and men are the worst thing on earth, and the world would be better if men didn't exist. But y'all run to them every chance you get. If you can't find a man of your liking, you go find a who presents as the same you hate. Get on my nerves. Y'all literally would sit there and use a man until he has nothing left, and he's still supposed to be the same strong, secure man that he was before you came into his life and it up. I'm pretty sure a lot of these men are in debt or not in places that they want to be because they're too busy not doing for themselves to do for the that they're supposed to be with, and it's supposed to be helpmates. You are not helpmates, you are cellmates. Don't no man want no celly. I mean, some of them do, but we ain't talking about them. At the end of the day, the moral of the story is stop getting with people who don't got your best interest, don't have the best intention for you. A who literally is just trying to live off of you or control whatever the you got going on by inserting themselves into your life. You get on my nerves, and y'all need to get a because nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to be a willing participant in the demise of your life.
And once again, men got to take responsibility for their part, but women have to take responsibility for their part. If a woman walks outside, there was a man talking about, he was being asked a question, do you think that simps are the reason that dating is so terrible? And the man was like, yeah, if these simps would stop doing that, then these women would stop acting the way they would act. Nope. Simps are enabling in terms of they're giving. Modern women are acting like this anyway. They're going to do it anyway. But you have a simp, or you have somebody who's coming in and they're giving the woman an avenue to act out what she was already going to do. She's already looking for that. You know what I mean? I know we like to say, oh, well, if we ban this, then if we ban adult sites, then a man is not going to look at it. No, the man was already looking for it. It was already in him. There was already an avenue somewhere in there where that's what he wanted. You do the same thing for cigarettes. You do the same thing for alcohol. You can do literally anything. If somebody goes to a buffet and they want to overeat, that's what they came here to do. That's what they set their mind on. You can try to say, well, I want to get my money's worth. You get your money's worth for $20, $25. You can get a lot and you still don't have to overeat. But I come here to pig out. I come here to be gluttonous. I come here to eat to the point to where my stomach hurts and I have to throw this stuff up. That's what they came here to do. That's what modern women came to do. You can't say this. Sit up here and say the buffet made me sick. The buffet just provided you the opportunity. Eat this, eat that. I see it as a great deal. That's why I'm in a buffet. I can go get ice cream, salad, steak, mac and cheese, potatoes, whatever I want. I'm ready to eat all of this. I'm ready to kill all of it. Knowing good and well, you can't do it. Instead of getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then tasting and trying, you decide to go fill up and get everything. People be going crazy at Thanksgiving. People be going crazy at Christmas. Every cookout, they go crazy. And it's their fault. It's a modern woman's fault that she is messing around with a simp. She's going to have the opportunity to come in contact with a real brother. But she stays with the simp because that's where she wants to be.
I hate men. I've heard this from women my entire life. It's so common these days to hear women say, all men are blank. Men ain't. And grouping them together and casting a judgment on the entire sex. And I've just never felt that way. In circles of women, they would often say, well, you probably don't feel this way towards men because you haven't experienced blank, insert the plethora of traumatic instances that can happen with men. And when I would share my stories that I often had, they would be like, well, you have all the reason to hate men, why don't you? Women's resentment towards men is not entirely misplaced, obviously. Look around at the world. abroad, and in our own local communities. When I think of the main reasons why women feel such hatred towards men, I just don't see a world where we correct those issues without men. Often the force required to correct the ferocity of evil-filled men is the ferocity of good-filled men. Obviously, women too. Men in their grounded, higher state are a force to be reckoned with. Okay, quick story time. I was a teenager walking into a store with my little brother, and to my right, a car pulls up full of men, waving a trying to coerce me to get into the car and kidnap me. I moved my brother to the side, and as I did, this old cowboy was walking out of the store towards us, saw everything that was happening, and he puts his hand on his back pocket to reach for his gun, and the car saw what he was doing and immediately drove off. And I'll never forget this moment, because it was this crazy juxtaposing scene of men in their absolute unhinged nature, and then men in their beautiful protector, higher nature for someone he didn't even know. And it really did show how men can be a part of the solution to the problems they also create. I don't know if you know, but men account for 80% of the suicides in the United States. And I encourage you to listen to this incredible podcast. I have it up right here. It's called Young Men Are Quietly Giving Up. And this really alarms me as we're moving into a time where we really, really need strong men. Many women have absolutely no freedoms in different corners of the earth. And I'm just going to speak to the modern Western world for a second. In women's attempts and pursuit for male accountability, I feel like it has hardened so many women's outlook of men altogether. And you got a modern dynamic now where women are walking around incredibly jaded, and they project this energy onto men in their entirety, and then feel a lot of resistance to having accountability themselves. Like a collective grievance that turned into an absolving of looking into the mirror. We can so often become the archetype of the thing we protest. I believe reestablishing a sense of sacredness between the sexes is going to be a big part of the solution here. And both sexes have a lot of work to do here. Objectification is such a big part of this to men, and I hope we can continue to hold men accountable while also as women taking ownership of the parts that we should, like when we electively objectify ourselves and further feed into that energy that in the end doesn't serve us, and be a bit honest with that. I'm curious if you've had a journey with your relationship to men and how you see us all walking forward unified together.
After building a career on making men think that she cared about them just to reach 1 million followers, turn around and say, "You men, I actually don't like you at all," this has now garnered 8 million man-hating women, because that's just all of her content. Well, she popped out with a man. She got engaged, and now she's shocked and dazed and confused as to why her giant following of man-hating women aren't with her fiance, why they're all on her now. I'm sorry, you built an entire following on women who are bitter, angry, and lonely, and then you're wondering why they're not clapping for you now that you're no longer bitter, angry, and lonely? Also, can we just call out the men who date man-haters like Drew Afalo for like what they actually are, which is just cucks. Like, you're the biggest cuck. You know that your woman despises your entire gender, and you think that you're good enough? You think you're different? This is like when girls date misogynists and they're like, yeah, he hates women, but I'm special. You're not special. You're idiot. Congratulations. Hating on men for your entire career has done one of two things. Actually, both things. Number one, they've made the man-haters hate your husband, and they've made the women who don't even hate men hate your husband, because how desperate do you have to be with somebody like her? This relationship isn't gonna last. I don't think they're even gonna make it to marriage, and if they do, they will get divorced. This is my prediction right now.
You want to know why men pick younger women? It's not because they're prettier. It's not because they're easier. It's because older women have forgotten how to be feminine. Yes, I said it. See, younger women still have something that a lot of older women have lost along the way. That is softness, admiration, and the ability to actually receive a man's energy instead of competing with it. Older men do not want to fight every day. They do not want to be your emotional punching bag or your therapist. They want peace. They want a woman who listens, who is grateful, who still sees the man in front of her instead of resenting him for the ones in her past. And no, this does not apply to everybody. There are exceptions, but I am talking about the rule. When a younger woman walks in with light, feminine energy, and a willingness to follow, it feels refreshing to a man who has been carrying the world on his back. It's not about a number on her driver's license. It is about her energy. A woman in her 40s who's done the inner work, who leads with softness and respects masculine energy, she will always win. But if we're being honest, most don't. And that's exactly why men go for younger girls.
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Oh, they didn't try to say anything. They flat out said that they'd rather be by themselves and peaceful than to be with some of the women that are available out there.
I have to disagree.
Of course there would be some women that have to disagree with that statement because they simply cannot bring themselves to believe that many men, especially after seeing what's out there in the dating market, would rather be single, and they're actually happier being so.
I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So I'm gonna call your bluff.
Some women simply don't get it because none of those things that were listed are actually what brings a man peace in a relationship. And if we're being really honest with ourselves, most men can get all of those perks of being in a relationship without actually being in one. So quite frankly, ladies, some of you are going to have to start accepting that men can be happy by themselves. I know that comes as a surprise.
So I recently asked men, actually quite a few posts back, why they do not approach women anymore. And sisters, they got in them comments, about 400 comments. And we getting ready to start. Number one, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. I might have to do a part 2. Y'all are looking for studs? Y'all are not polite. Sisters, y'all not polite. Me Too and feminism. Apparently, they are afraid of being accused of SA. Everyone looks the same. No one stands out or is original. The system, social media, has destroyed y'all. Y'all are not safe. Okay. Y'all said y'all prefer a bear. Now, we're gonna have to expound on that because apparently there was a poll that says women asked who they feel safe around. They said men or a bear. Y'all chose a bear. The men are salty about that.
To the women who want men who lead, who have good leadership skills, I hear you. I feel you. Also, I want to remind you that for the past few generations, the men haven't really been raised to do that. A lot of men were raised by their mothers, which means they were raised to listen to women, not to lead women. They were raised to follow the directions and the instructions of the women in their lives. So now that he's an adult and he is being told, okay, you're the man, you should be leading this relationship, some of them just don't know how yet. And it really is a yet, because that can be developed. I've recognized that in my relationship, I encourage my man to lead and to develop that sense of leadership because his mama didn't teach him that, and that's okay. And I know a lot of the girls want a finished product, but as somebody who does not identify as a finished product, I was not looking for a finished product. And because I always say you should date someone around on your level, that's not just looks, that's also internal, intellect, abilities. So just putting that out there for those of us that want that, it's possible, but it might take some development.
And women today, like the modern women, they want the aesthetics of what a man is, but they actually don't want a man because they don't want to be submissive. And I know that's a word thrown out there. Women get scared of that.
Explain what you mean by submissive for those unaware.
Submissive as in respect. Being the peace, the calm, always. Right? So if a lion is roaring, you have to learn how to quiet, you know? So it's just like women don't want to be submissive. Women don't want to be corrected. We're the only nation of women that say they don't need a man. And you have all these other nations, those women aren't saying that because they know the greatness and the importance of a man being around. Not just financially, but for beyond that. It's beyond finances. It's for the structure. It's for the balance.
And once again, some of these women, if you just step back, you know, we can sit up here and talk about how men need to take accountability. But if you just step back and say, wait a minute, maybe men are saying something that's, you know, maybe they have a point. You know what I mean? Modern women don't want to be submissive. They don't want to be corrected. And the caption was they don't want to be submissive or corrected by a man. You can take men out of it. Modern women don't want to be submissive, nor do they want to be corrected by anyone. the girls that the friends that they grew up with could be trying to tell them something. Their parents could be trying to tell them. Their grandparents could be trying to tell them something. A direct and immediate family member could be trying to tell them something. They don't want to hear it. They think that they're right. They think that they know everything. You can't tell modern women anything. They don't want to yield to nobody. They think they have all the answers. They think that they're the most educated, the most talented, the most unique, and then be falling right flat on their face, failing. And people be like, well, now that happened to you, let me help you. No, I don't need nobody. Get away from me.
Seriously need to stop expecting young men to be gentle and chivalrous with women and their emotions if we're not going to at least admit that the reason for that is because women are extra emotional. Treat me different because I'm a girl, but don't acknowledge that as a girl I'm different is insane standard. And so
the list of double standards are racking up, bro. It doesn't make sense how in 2025 this is a hot take. Saying women are more emotional than men is actually really a hot take. A lot of the online women nowadays will pick and choose when they want to be treated equally, rather than being treated equally with everything. There's so many double standards, it's insane. That's why I tell young men all the time, don't take it serious, don't take it to heart. Be a man, do what you gotta do. Could you imagine if everybody in the world was just like, you know what? Forget chivalry, forget changing up when a woman walks in the room. We're gonna act exactly how we always act, regardless of the female in the room. Like if we just treated and talked to women 100% like we talk to the bros, I don't even want to think about it, honestly. It's exactly what he said. You can't say treat me different as a girl, but don't acknowledge that I'm different because I am a girl. It makes no sense.
First off, I didn't have a message for black women. My message is actually for the men. And it's to show the men what the women do that they already know. And it's easy to prove it. It's just like if you wanted to prove that white people who keep saying that they're not racist are racist by simply putting a mask over the resume and then showing up at the job and see if they treated you differently than when they read the resume and they thought you were white. That way you have actual proof on tape. So what I would have had was actual proof on tape that in a discussion where people were talking about this is why women aren't being approached. If these people gave a crap, they would listen, even when it's stuff they don't want to hear, which is why I gave the example of if you're a Jewish person, you better listen when the Nazis talk. But instead, I was told, so are you threatening us? So they don't ever want to listen. And I proved it to the men that the people that sit here and say they actually do want to have a conversation with you won't, because you found every excuse to not listen. And there's no reason to do that. And if we really wanted to have a true conversation amongst people, we'd actually want to play in the space of people who disagree. I want someone to challenge what I've said, specifically what I've said. Ask me to prove it, and I will. I stand 100% on everything I say and can prove it. And that's why y'all go to the language and how it was said and whatever. But it's never, what did he say that was wrong? Inaccurate, not factual. And that's what I showed.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
I got a question since you always ask some questions. Women are right and men are always wrong. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Women are always right, men are wrong. For sure.
So you really believe that?
Believe it to my core.
Women are always right and men are always wrong.
Yep. You know it.
Well, check this out. Riddle me this. So if a man says a woman's right, is he wrong?
If a man says a woman's always right, is he wrong?
Food for thought.
Good one.
I said that women, ultimately, we are making the choice to not keep children sometimes. And I'm saying to you, that could be true. However, what are the factors that are leading us up to do this? And you're saying...
It's just women.
That's Is this fact-based or is this your opinion?
Women hold all of reproduction rights in America. Men do not hold any reproductive rights in America. So how is it men's fault?
They play every part in that.
Let me use an analogy, right?
Go ahead.
So if it's the case that being in shape or being out of shape is all in your hands, which is true because you put the food in your mouth and you can choose not to put the food in your mouth. So it's your choice. Would it be logical if you gained a whole lot of weight and got real fat to blame it on Walmart for making you fat? Or did you choose to buy all of that food and eat all of that food at Walmart? That'd be all of your choice. So that analogy maps onto women holding all reproductive rights is their choice. So if a chick is fat, she fat not because of Walmart, she fat because of her choices. If a chick aborts her child, she aborted her child because of her, not because of the man.
I see why she's married, and women really have to understand this.
Men melt when a woman speaks softly. But a lot of women don't want to hear that because they think being sweet makes them look weak.
One word, feminism.
But that's a huge mistake because a woman's greatest power is her softness. Think about it. If he wanted another alpha energy in his house, he would have married another man.
And we get called sassy for trying to hold women accountable. Isn't that crazy?
So if you ever have caught yourself thinking, he never does anything that I ask him to, it's probably because you talk to him like you're another guy challenging him. Try using your feminine, soft, lighter tone of voice more often and just watch how differently he treats you.
For the women that are still listening, please listen to the last part.
I've never heard a no from my husband when I speak to him gently. He's even told me that he can't resist when I ask that way. If it feels hard to switch into that sweet version of you, it's because you've permanently turned on that masculine energy without even noticing.
Yeah, I really don't have to say too much after that because she really explained everything. And this is exactly why she's married. A lot of women don't understand. The way you treat a man makes him want to do so much for you. And y'all really would want to give that up because you want to compete with the man that you're with. Because it really amazed me that a lot of women will go to their job, talk to their boss politely, respectfully, arrive on time, do what he says. But when you get home, you give your husband the most miserable attitude ever. Yeah, I know an argument might be, my husband doesn't pay me, but your husband will sure put his life on the line, and your boss will definitely replace you the moment you call out being sick. Conclusion, women, please try to respect your husband a little more, be more soft. It makes the world a better place. And if you don't, y'all wonder why I say this. And you want to get married. Pack it up.
Women are the reason for 60% of divorces, and honestly, I believe it.
It's very true. Most divorces are, in fact, initiated by women.
Because men will ignore you for years and then act confused when you finally leave. Like, don't play dumb. She didn't wake up and decide she was done. She told you 1,000 times what was wrong, and you brush it off every single time.
Now, I understand that this post is supposed to be about how men are the problem in marriages, but a lot of individuals like to conveniently leave out the fact, and yes, it is a fact, that women married to women actually have the highest divorce rates of all. So is it really men that are the problem?
One thing about women, we'll stay until the very last straw. We'll explain it, we'll cry about it, we'll try to fix it, and you still sit there acting clueless.
Well, if that was actually true, then women married to women would actually have the longest lasting relationships, wouldn't they?
And when she finally files, suddenly, it's, where did it come from? It came from you not listening. That's why most women file for divorce.
Okay, sure. But in my opinion, a lot of women, not all, file for divorce because they simply aren't happy. And there's a lot of women that would rather just get divorced than work on the problem.
Everyone, listen to this.
It's not natural for women to submit because the creator never submits to its creation. That's not how nature works. That's not how intelligence works or how life organizes itself. There's nowhere in the animal kingdom where you see a patriarchal system as default. You'll see cooperation or role differentiation, although there are some species where you do see matriarchal leadership, but there's never a patriarchal leadership. That's not natural. What happened in history was a heist. Once humans got private property, developed agriculture, and developed inheritance systems, control over women became strategic. This is where the heist began. So because women are the ones that produce the heirs, biologically, women are the only ones that ever know with certainty if that child is theirs. So logically, inheritance and property ownership should have followed the woman's lineage. Last names should be the woman's last name. But instead, men used physical force, fear, and law to dominate women. So submission was never natural, it was enforced. Women were kept at home, uneducated, told to remain pure, kept economically dependent, and kept isolated so they wouldn't hear and know that what's happening is wrong. This was never about God or order or nature. This was always about control. And once you see that clearly, submission stops looking virtuous and starts looking exactly like what it is, a power grab. So don't fall for that, ladies.
Modern women just be talking. No matter what age, they just be talking. Well, there was never a patriarchy. There was always a matriarchy. Well, why do you think that is? Well, because men manipulated, they used physical force. So let me ask you a question. You don't ever think at some point in time, the man and the woman were walking in the forest? Let's just be just primitive. They were walking in the forest, and there's something that was big that came out of the forest, and the woman's like, "Oh, let me try to handle this." Or did she know instinctively, I can't handle this? He's got to. And then she started looking to him and said, okay, you handle the stuff that's like physical. You seem to have that taken care of. And then he tries to do some of the stuff that might not be as physical, but she's better at it. And he turns to her and says, okay, I see a dynamic here. Why don't I do the physical stuff, like you were saying, but why don't you do some of these other skills over here, since, you're better at it? We can both cross-train on each other's jobs, but, there's somebody there that is a little bit better than the other person. I think that would be cooperation. I think that would be two people getting together and working towards a common goal. But it's not women lording over men, being gods over men or goddesses or whatever you want to call it, over men. How can you be a god and be overtaken? Do y'all hear yourselves talking? How can you be a creator and then get overtaken? What kind of Frankenstein stupid stuff is this? You didn't have you're an idiot creator. Why didn't you put any type of safeguards or any type of rails or whatever to stop the creation from overpowering you? And not only, it'd be one thing if the creation was able to overpower you once, but you keep on getting overpowered. Why? How have y'all not, in your infinite wisdom as the creator, been able to stop the creation from continuing to overpower you? To the point that y'all get manipulated by the creation. To the point that the creation, y'all's creation, go out there, leave y'all stuck with the bill over and over again. Why y'all not smart enough to dodge that, creator? Why y'all not smart enough to stop that and say, oh, I'm not gonna get tricked by a lesser being or individual? Why y'all not doing that, creator?